But I think we'll start off and kick off with the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so one of the biggest sporting events in the world. I think they get well over 100 million viewers in the States, and obviously growing a lot here in Australia. One of our favourite sports, admittedly, is the NFL.
Big time.
25,000 in attendance, and the rest was cardboard cutouts. So it did have a little bit of an atmosphere about it.
Yeah. A lot of serving and medical staff.
Yeah, frontline workers. I think they said that 7,500 vaccinated healthcare workers. You know, a little bit of a say thanks to them for their efforts during the pandemic. First ever matchup between the two quarterbacks that have won the Super Bowl in the last 2 years. Obviously, with Mahomes leading the Chiefs against the 49ers last year, and Brady at New England beating the Rams the year before.
Yep.
And possibly the two best tight ends to ever go up against each other in a Super Bowl. So,
fair shout.
If anyone wants to question that, get at us in the comments.
Gronk's got 4 rings and he's got playoff stats all up the wazoo.
And I think Kelsey's now got the most 1,000-yard receiving seasons as a tight end.
Both putting Hall of Fame careers together.
Yeah,
let's put it that way.
Yeah, well, Gronk definitely, and provided Kelsey does this for another... He can retire now and still be in the Hall of Fame. So two future Hall of Famers. I did see... Kelsey didn't like being called Baby Gronk one bit.
Where did that happen?
Well, you know, they were saying the Baby GO.A.T against Mahomes against the GOAT, Brady, and Gronk. Apparently being the tight end GOAT and Kelsey being Baby GO.A.T did not take well to that on social media. Obviously had an unreal season. I think got the most yards by a tight end ever this year, around 1,400.
Let's flick to the Tampa Bay supporter down the end here. How do you feel coming out of that?
Yeah, great. Excited.
Just calm down over there, Jimmy. We don't want you to blow the lid off there.
Just jumping out of my seat. It was great. I mean, it's been a few years between rings, so...
02?
Yeah, 02. Yeah, so as long as I've been a supporter of the Bucks, as long as I've been a supporter of the sport, never really even got through to the playoffs. So great to finally see him win one.
Yeah,
I did hear the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have got the worst overall record out of any of the Big Four sports teams in the US. Let that sink in.
70s, 80s were rough.
But they've got 2 rings.
Well,
right.
They're in the South, aren't they?
South.
NFC South, yes.
Yeah, they've got more Super Bowls than the rest of the South combined.
Really? So Panthers and Falcons obviously don't have them, and Saints have got one. There you go. So the worst ever team has managed to win twice. Unreal.
To put together two good seasons, that's all you really need.
That's it. They won that 0-2 one off the back of a really gnarly defense.
Warren Sapp, John Lynch. Gets a Lynch in the hall
Who
as
were their
well.
linebackers? Derek Brooks.
Yeah.
I have to have a look at that team.
Can you name anyone offense?
Who was
Brad Johnson.
Brad Johnson was the quarterback.
Michael Pittman.
Galloway, or is that...
Galloway. Silver.
There you go.
That's a Super Bowl winning team right there.
We're about 11 when this happens. So. What else? Little tidbits beforehand. Mahomes had never lost by double digits in the NFL. And
wild, hey?
All his teams, in every Chiefs game, they've scored a touchdown.
Yep.
So I don't think he's necessarily thrown for a touchdown in every one of his games, but he's never played in a game.
They've scored double digits. First time they haven't scored double digits. First time they've lost by double digits. On the biggest stage of them.
A lot of firsts. And
on Brady as well.
And Brady had never scored in the
a touchdown
in the first quarter, and he'd only in Super Bowls, I should say. Tom Brady had never scored a touchdown in first quarter of Super Bowls, and
3 points.
3 points only.
Scored.
Yep.
I brought that up last week.
Yeah, that was I was going to say that's Macca's.
I brought that and they scored straight away. I went, oh shit.
Well,
they
scored with about 30 seconds left in the first quarter, so just broke it. So that was Brady to Gronk.
Fair connection, that
yeah. Paying about $20, I think.
I think it was a great insight as well because I think from what we were talking about last week that we thought they'd both start slow and that Tampa would probably get ahead, and then we think the Chiefs would chase them down. The game script kind of definitely went that way, but
except for that last bit.
Except for the second half, the Chiefs, they came out strong, but then they just fell apart. Really.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but it was one of those it was always sort of 2 touchdowns, and I thought, oh, here they come. The Chiefs are going to warm up. They do it all the time. And I kept thinking, and then I was like, there's 3 minutes left. This is done. This game is done. I couldn't, that's the Mahomes effect. You always think the Chiefs are in. You always think this offense is going to put up points, but it just never came. So that's obviously credit to the Bucks D.
Yeah, well, I was saying to the boys that if they didn't get up 21 points by halftime, I thought they'd lose. Because if they'd gone into the half, say 14-9, because the Chiefs had that big stop on the goal line as well, that I thought they'd probably think, hey, we've played terribly and we're in a good position here. And then even at 21-9 at half.
21-6.
21-6, sorry. 21-6 at half, I thought it's probably not enough. Like, I thought maybe 28 might have been enough. But as we saw the second half, they came out running the ball very hard, which I thought was a great game plan to try and get up, to beat Tampa Bay, beat that pass rush. It's what I thought the Green Bay Packers should have done the previous week more, and they went away from it. Of course, game script doesn't help. But then that
kicking
drive,
field goals to 8 yards down, when to score that. We've been there. We've done that.
We know what you think about field goals.
We've done that. So.
But that drive, of course, stalls. I think in about 30 or 40, they kicked, I think, the field goal to go, to score 9 points. But after that,
catcher.
Straight after that, I think Gronk catches that pass over the middle of the field completely open. Probably would have scored a touchdown if they didn't catch him. That's the one where Honey Badger's throwing his arms up like, who the fuck's someone's meant to be covering him. And you could just see that they were the defense had just completely fallen apart. They had no idea for what the Bucks were doing. And great game plan by Brian Leftwich. Is that
Byron Leftwich?
Offense coordinator. He had a great game plan, and I think the Kansas City guys came and said out afterwards that it was not what we were expecting. And I think having Bright and Bright, I did this last week. Bright's the son. Bright's the son. Brit is
the son.
Brit's the son. Oh my God. Same thing we happened last week.
We're underway here.
We've had a neck of a beer.
The 2 tight ends, I think, kind of really threw them. As part of it, because I think they were worried about Godwin and Evans. And they went exclusively through the tight ends, and then the running game with Fournette and Ronald Jones.
Rojo.
Absolutely. Like, he had 5 yards of carry. Like, he was absolutely dominant.
Good production. He was running hard, wasn't he? He was finishing runs.
Yeah, big time.
And they won nothing of Fournette. Like, none of the corners won.
Lombardi Lenny.
Lombardi Lenny. No longer playoff Lenny. Lombardi Lenny. And he was running like an absolute bull.
He was hitting a hole, whether it wasn't there, he was going to make one. He
was really looking like that fourth overall pick.
God, Jacksonville.
Kansas City's defense, were they holding the shit out of the receivers, or were they a little bit unlucky from those penalties, do you think?
I think they were
unlucky.
You're going to say unlucky?
Nah, I reckon they were getting beaten up. I'm the opposite. I think
they were getting beaten up, but some of those calls were pretty unlucky.
Gracious in defeat.
I don't mind this. Exactly. When you've got the ring over there, you've got the trophy for 12 months, you can,
we'll see next season.
I thought some of them, I agree with you, Sean. I thought most of them were warranted, and some of them
I
were
thought they had
blatant,
to hold because they were getting beat.
Yeah.
Like that one where Mike Evans, where he Rayland falls down and knocks Mike Evans' legs, and Mike Evans falls over. If he doesn't do that, he scores a touchdown. Like
on that one, their feet tripped him. They tripped themselves up.
There was an incidental. That one.
No, Rayland tripped up. And then as he's falling, his arms hit the back of Evans' legs, knocks Evans down. But Evans is scoring. He's that open. It's dropping in the bread basket. So he had to. Well, he's falling over. He's already beat. But if you're going to fall over, you might as well take the guy with you.
There was a bit of chat before the game, and Breland's one of them. They are so physical, the Chiefs corners, and they do like to hold. And again, going back to the low scoring and the Super Bowls, refs normally don't throw the flags. It's your big centerpiece. It's the Super Bowl. You've got a billion eyeballs on it.
Let the boys play.
Let them play.
That's why I thought they were a bit unlucky.
I think if you really look at the game, there's probably a defensive holding on every play in NFL. So, but again, maybe it works the other way. It's the Super Bowl. All eyes are on. You don't want to be the ref that misses the call. You look at
the blatant stuff. They definitely called. Like, I thought you was blatant. It was very clear that it was exactly where Tom was going with the ball. It wasn't one of those ones where he's thrown it over here and then they've called you holding over on the other side of the field.
Except like what was the one on the interception they called? That was on the other side of the field. I thought that was
on Honey Badger interception.
That I think was what broke the defense, and that was probably one of the ones I thought.
And you could see Tyron getting very frustrated with the refereeing.
But I thought because that was on Godwin, I think, at the time. It looked like a hold on him as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he'd beaten the man completely in his route. Like, it was an excellent route. And he had to hold him.
Yeah.
But,
A big Honey Badger fan here, but he was holding the shit out of a lot of guys. There was one late in the game.
He's one-on-one on Kelsey a couple of times.
On Gronk.
Gronk, sorry. Yeah, on Gronk. Yeah, he's going to hold Gronk.
Yeah.
But that's how you want to be physical. You want to press up. That's you're going to get pinned.
The other thing as well was the Bucks were clinical when given these chances. There was that one where they jumped off sides in the field goal.
Well, even that's you're on the. You see what? There wasn't even a jump offside. They were both lined up offside.
They were
like this.
Which again.
Cole Hardman, I think it was on the
edge. No, I think Pringle got done for it, but Hardman was on the other side as well.
Both they're in the neutral zone.
So again, you can look at that. It probably happens on most players, but it's a 4th and 5. They're kicking the field goal. They can't do anything. So you've just given Tom Brady a new set, and that was the next play. I think.
He went straight back to Gronk on that one, I believe.
Yeah, deep. That was one at the back of the end zone. Yeah. So I bet.
And that Brashard Breeland one was like 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
And that, like you say, probably Mike Evans is probably going to score there. Whether or not it's incidental, it's probably the right play for Kansas City. But then shout out to the GOAT and the Bucks offense for being able to go and finish it off. And
exactly.
That AB route was tidy.
Yeah.
It was Honey Badger on him again.
Yeah.
And he did like a little out and in.
Yeah.
Like faked the out and then like a little spin in. And
then
the
tummy.
ball was right there.
Yeah.
It was pretty to watch.
Did you see Honey Badger get in Brady's face and then Brady get back out?
Straight after this?
I wanted to ask you, so this was going into the locker room. What do you think was said? Because Matthew came out after the game saying he didn't want to repeat it. Brady.
I don't think he said anything. I think it was along the lines of, "This is bullshit," because he wasn't happy about the PA call on because he just got done for the holding on Gronk and
they gave up a touchdown
and the same drive the intercept as well, and they just picked on him on the touchdown. It was like, "This is bullshit." They're giving you penalties because you're Tom Brady.
Something like that.
I think that was along the lines of what he was probably saying.
Yeah.
And he was fired up.
And so Tom was just like, I don't know. I'm the fucking GOAT.
Exactly right. But he went up to him and they were in each other's face.
Yeah.
You don't need to give Tom Brady fire. You don't need to pour petrol on the Tom Brady fire. He's already slicing you up. Don't now get him even more focused.
Yeah.
Well, they called a penalty on Matthews after that as well.
Yeah.
Was
it
unsportsmanlike?
It wasn't a 21.
Even though it was Brady that was going up to him in his face. So
yeah.
And then obviously you're going to get all the guys.
Tyson went to him first, and then Tyreek went to him first.
Tyron.
Fuck me.
We'll write them all
went
down
to
for you
him
next week.
It doesn't help. I still can't say
Matthew. It's Tyron Matthew.
Yeah.
So it's actually like Matheo or something, but we're into semantics here. Phonetics. Yeah, we'll get to the South African cricket team.
Louisiana.
The chief safety went up to Tom Brady first, said his piece, and then ran off. And then Tom's had to do
he chased him down.
A little bootleg to get back in his face to give his 5 cents worth. So yeah, interesting.
Apparently, Brady texted him after the game and apologised, but I don't think that would be
heat of the
too well.
battle.
That's a phone out the window if I'm getting
that
text message. Fuck you, Tom.
You don't want to see that text, do you?
So
after halftime,
I think let's just run through. We've covered the first quarter.
We've covered the first half.
Yeah, there's a big stop in the second. We talked about all the penalties. Fournette's long touchdown, that starts the third quarter?
8 minutes in.
After that drive we just mentioned before, the Chiefs got stopped. They got the ball back, and then Fournette absolutely kills the Chiefs defense, just bounces it outside.
Nice pull by Marpet, the guard. He's a guard. Yeah, he's an all-pro. But
that offensive line for Tampa was legit.
Sneaky good.
Yeah.
Who's playing left tackle for them? The rookie?
Tristan Wirfs.
Didn't miss a snap or missed one snap in his rookie season.
He's been excellent for them.
That's something you just put there for fight. You're going to pay him. He's there for 12 years.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to worry about it. You don't think twice about it.
Yeah. So the Bucks on their first drive were 3 and out, but since then they scored touchdowns on their 4 of the next 5 drives.
Yeah, and the one that they didn't was the one that they got stopped with the one.
So they could move the ball at will on the Chiefs' defense. Chiefs, they could get them in a third down situations, but they weren't. They were manageable third downs, and then they couldn't get them off the field. So they just kept rolling over them. It helps when your running game's picking up like 5 yards a carry too. So
indeed. I reckon it was that Antoine Winfield pick that was late in the third. It led to Bucks field goal, 31-9. That's when it started going off in my head. Oh man, like
They could put 40 on them.
I was starting to think the Chiefs aren't coming back from this. Up until that point, I was like, it's game on. You know, my uncle who was texting me doesn't know anything about the NFL and is saying, at the half, he's going, Bucks have got this. And I was, no. You
don't know how this works. No.
The game starts here.
Turns out he was right. And, there was no score from either side in the fourth quarter. And Mahomes was just under absolute duress that whole fourth quarter. Yep. Hats off to him. People were saying what happened with Mahomes. I don't think he did much wrong.
Did everything he could to win that game. The throws he was throwing, the passes he was throwing were insane.
It was his O-line. Obviously, they were missing Fisher and Schwartz.
Barrett and JP were excellent.
They were just going nuts. And Ndamukong Suh was getting
Peter
through.
As well.
Got popped a couple times too. I thought, that's a big hit from a 150 kilo human.
It was so interesting to see, like in the fourth quarter, that Mahomes was like 30 yards behind the line of scrimmage because he was just running for his life.
He ran 497 yards before passing the ball.
Yeah, I found that. So he's just literally behind the line of scrimmage, just running for his life.
I reckon there was a few plays where he ran 30 or 40 in one play.
There was that one where he ran to the left, spun out of one, then spun around again. I thought he was throwing it away, but he's
horizontal.
This was to the left, and he's throwing it at the pylon. I think it was Pringle stuck out of hand.
It got close.
But it was like if he's half a metre in,
that's a touchdown.
And we're talking about that for the rest of our lives. So we actually watched that.
Yep.
And then, like you mentioned, the one where he is parallel to the ground, whips it, hits him in the face mask, and he drops it. Like Jimmy said, he's physically done everything not humanly possible. Like human can make that throw, and the bloke has just goes straight. That's why he dropped it. He thought, there's no way that ball's coming to me. It's coming to me. Oh, it hit me.
And that was Darryl Williams, and I got a bone to pick with him / maybe Andy Reid / the Chiefs game plan. He had like 58 and 78 yards in their last two playoff wins, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire was their go-to guy. They had Williams. I think they prefer Williams as a blocker. So they had him trying to pick up the blitz at the end there.
That worked.
But in our punters club, I just needed 24 yards out of him on the ground. He got handed the rock twice, so that was very disappointing.
Yeah,
the game script didn't help. Did you boys see some college lads did a TikTok of Mahomes where they had one, like they were all in footy gear, and then someone's pretending to be Mahomes. He's got four guys and he's just running around. And he gets the ball off and it flicks to a guy trying to catch it and hitting him in the face mask. And every one of them is getting hit in the face mask. He's just like, I'm going to get the face mask.
Maybe a TikTok channel for on the Esky. Yeah. Sure, he's got
it was very much that kind of, I think there was twice some guy got hit in the face mask and dropped the ball. I think Kelsey had though he finished, I think, with 13 catches and 100 plus yards in this.
100.
I reckon he had a bit of a shocker in this. He fell over a few times, missed his routes. He dropped, I think, at least 3 balls where they could have converted. I don't think it was his best game. I think he was disappointed in the way he played.
I wouldn't call it a shocker when he got 13 for 100.
It's so hard, but I tend to agree with Sean in that. And we did say it last week that Kelsey's going to get his, Hill's going to get his, Mahomes is going to get his. I mean, one of those proved true. I mean, if it was just, you look at the stats, 13 catches, 130 yards. Oh, brilliant. That's a good fantasy day. But we know football isn't played on iPhone. It's actually played on the field. There were a couple, like you said, third down drops, first down catches that he could have made.
And catches that he normally would make.
Yeah, swallow. They hit those 2 yellow gloves and he normally swallows them. So
what happened to the cheat? What happened to Tyreek Hill? He got absolutely shut down. Obviously, we mentioned he had 13 catches for 269 yards when they met in week 12.
So who's the defensive coach? Is it Todd Bowles? Yeah. So again, I think they're such a well-prepared team for this Tampa Bay, and probably helped playing them week 12 because you do learn a lot in the losses. So from this, they changed their game plan defensively and played a lot of 2 high safeties and deep, take away all the deep stuff and force them underneath, and then let David and White go crazy in the middle to take away Kelsey and that the underneath stuff, which was very different to how they played in week 12, which was a lot more man coverage, which of course then is very good for Hill because he can get away for that. So they were essentially double teaming or triple teaming with zones the whole game. And did you guys see the picture of Winford Field holding up there? Because he had 2 catches in the fourth quarter, and they just stopped him on another drive. Got a taunting penalty out of it, but you could see they'd already killed him by that point.
That's actually what Hill did to him in week 12 when he was burning him. He burned him. He turned around mid-play. He chucked up the deuces. So for a rookie to do that in his face, that's yummy.
Yeah, I'm on Winfield.
Absolutely.
He caught the 15 yards.
And you saw him on the sideline. Every single teammate went, "Hey, we've just won the Super Bowl. We knew that's it. That's the end of the game." I think Bowles v. Bieniemy was a matchup no one really wanted to talk about. We all think Bieniemy should have been his head coach. Todd Bowles was coach of the Jets, obviously. Bowles absolutely destroyed Bieniemy in this one. We think of the Chiefs, and we've talked about it here when they get to the red zone, but around the field, their little screen plays, their backhanded stuff, that really slows down outside linebackers. If you're sprinting at him, and we've seen Mahomes just underhand it to an Edwards-Helaire or Kelsey coming around, then you've got to be wary of that. So they were just pinning their ears back, going straight through. Hill doesn't have time to run 30 yards down the field. By the time he turns around, Mahomes is running around. I've got to run back to him. I think that's how their offense is sort of built. Kelsey's going to come down the middle, have the short options. The defense actually doesn't know what to do. We can't blitz him. We know he's better against the blitz than not the blitz. And now, we've got this, 100-meter sprinter on the outside who's going to burn us.
Olympic level,
So it just seemed they were all trying to get downfield too quickly. But unless you're sitting back in the pocket, nicely set, now I can throw. But I can't think of a single clean pocket Mahomes had today where he could sit and fire.
I was reading he was pressured on 29 of 56 dropbacks. That's 52% of the time. That's the highest percentage in Super Bowl history. For comparison, Brady was pressured on 4 of his dropbacks. So they only ended up with the 2 sacks, and that's a complete testament to Mahomes' ability to scramble and get out of it. But I think he got hit 10 times, and like you were saying in the fourth quarter, Sue would lighten him up a couple times.
There's probably 4 sacks in that fourth quarter where he somehow got the ball.
Anyone else.
Yeah, exactly. So
maybe not Lamar.
So whilst they only finished with the 2 sacks, he was under duress all night.
Yeah. I wanted to go back to Macca's point, like that whole screen and reverse game.
They didn't do any of it.
I think it was completely nullified by White and David. So whenever they tried something like that, I know that they tried to do a screen to Pringles, I think, very early in the game.
Devin White.
And White was there. Like he was
across the field.
For a huge that speed in the linebacker core was just excellent. So
do you reckon they're the 2 best middle linebacker tandems in the NFL? I can't think of anyone at the moment that would be better than them.
I think the NFL is going away from sort of your traditional middle linebacker now, which, now maybe it's a copycat league. Do people now stack the middle of the field to slow down those, you got all those receiving backs. Think of McCaffrey in their Kamara, who's in the same division.
You need
two quick middle linebackers who can sort of take that out as well.
I think Devin White ran a 4.4.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he looks quick, and he's a big man.
Like at his size, there's somewhere he's chasing down guys, and you're just going, you got 40 pounds on this guy. How are you chasing him down?
And then and finishing too, like putting on some nice plays. But last year, his rookie year, he struggled a bit, which shows. I think he's a 5th overall pick, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was definitely a top 10.
He
struggled a little bit in his rookie year in some coverage stuff, but so they've got David there to sort of handle. He clamped Kelsey pretty well. And then Devin White was just sideline to sideline, couldn't get it past him.
Speaking of Devin White, had that end zone the end zone pick in the dying innings. Wow, the end zone pick in the dying minutes. That denied Kansas City a touchdown.
Even in junk, and that's when you celebrate. That's when this defense they haven't scored a touchdown. We're going to be known forever as a team that the Chiefs didn't score a touchdown against, and you finish that, and you saw everyone just go berserk.
Getting around the camera,
you get to go into victory offense, take the knees.
Exactly. Yeah, so he was drafted 1st round, 5th pick.
5th pick overall. There you go.
I think Devin Bush was the 10th.
Yeah, there's 2 Devins, 2 linebackers. Bush obviously at Pittsburgh.
He did his knee this year.
So we covered Brady and the Honey Badger. Do you want to run us through some of the Tom Brady mental stats?
There's a few. So Tom Brady was the first quarterback to win a Super Bowl across both conferences.
That's surprising.
Yeah. Well,
he's the only one to win. He's the second one to win with two teams.
Teams.
So we're talking about Manning being the first to do it with two teams. He's now the second. James Manning on that. He's the only quarterback to win Super Bowl in 3 different decades.
Obscene.
Yeah. Oldest quarterback to start, win, get an MVP as well. And I think he's got more rings than any team as well by himself.
Yeah, so he's got 7, and then Steelers, 6 of those with the Patriots, and Steelers have 6 total.
Yes.
So
If
he was a franchise, he'd be number 1.
Yeah, if you combine the 18 lowest, so all the teams that haven't won, the ones, he's won more than 18 teams
combined.
He combined all their Super Bowls.
Yeah, he all of the 18 teams combined.
Yeah. Then across regular season and postseason, he's thrown close to 700 touchdowns. I think he's probably about 680 from my quick maths when I looked it up the other day.
What were we saying? He's thrown over 10,000 yards in postseason.
Yeah.
In Super Bowls, he's just over 3,000 in Super Bowl.
Yeah, and you got
that's not the worst.
It's a season, it's just a season stats.
Yeah. So and you got to remember as well, like for his career stats, he missed a year with an ACL, so he could clearly be past 700 touchdowns already. So that's crazy.
Do you think if anyone tries to tell you that he's not the GOAT in the NFL,
it's unquestionable.
There's no question. Yeah.
Like I think there was a point like where like the Manning debate, Manning had 5 MVPs and Brady's only got 3 and this and that. But I think it's sort of without question now. It's kind of getting into Bradman type territory for the Aussie
I did
comparison.
see some people saying up like he's the luckiest quarterback ever, but the consistency, consistency of winning, you just can't.
You can't make that up. That's the kind of people that are all going, oh, refs won this game for the Bucks. Well, no, they won by 22 points.
If you wanted to whinge for the refs, okay, take 2 touchdowns off the Bucks, and they still win. Not once when. Like the Chiefs were driving, was there a flag? You go, don't do that. Like they scored 9 points. You don't deserve to win, regardless of who you're versing.
No.
It turns out you're versing the GOAT. So,
and I think the last question you had on Tom Brady was he a system quarterback? Was how much did Bill influence that? And I think it was one of the reasons why Tom wanted to leave the Patriots. Is like that's the last question on my legacy that's unanswered. So he's gone away, first year with a new team, taken them to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl. There's no doubt. Like you can't.
What were they last year? Were they 7-9 last year?
Yeah, 7-9. Yeah. I will say, and I do think this. I think it was very overrated. The fact, he's taken the 7-9 team and pulled them up. We talk about how stacked their team is. They drafted Wirfs as well on that offensive line. Their defensive's lights out. If you go through their last 4 drafts, they haven't had many misses. Their starting team has come from the last 4 drafts. Yeah. They just had a quarterback who threw 30 interceptions. Yeah. They also threw for 5,000 yards. Yep. Their defense was top 5 in the league last year, I think. Yep. So you take away 30 interceptions, they're actually a very good team. Yep. You then put Tom Brady on top of that, this becomes a very good team.
And then the leader. And then on top of that, when they get Brady, guys like Gronk, Fournette, AB, halfway through the season go, I'll come play 100%. Come play with this guy. 100%. And interestingly, they were the guys that scored all the touchdowns.
Exactly right.
Yeah. Well, it's not a single buck from last season scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
There you go. It's not like it's like in those 2 weeks in between the conference champions and the Super Bowl, Brady was planning the game, looking through his game plan. He's like, I've got Rob Gronkowski. I've got Gronk. I'm sweet. I'm just going I've done this before. All right, just leave with me, guys. Gronk, you good? Yep, sweet. 2 tutties.
There was a lot of the players were saying that Brady was texting him every night in that lead up saying, we will win.
We will win.
We will win. He was just instilling that confidence in his guys. And there was guys that at their first Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and
that's the message you get. Yeah,
they're being led by the GOAT. That fired. You could just tell everyone on that team was fired up and fucking ready to go.
I can't think of a more inspiring text message than Tom Brady saying, "We will win." You're like, okay, we will. We're going to win. Like this is good. Yeah,
he's saying it. He's saying it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So coming out of the game, some news on the quarterbacks. Both quarterbacks are going to have some surgery. Mahomes has got toe to have a look at. I think he had this coming into the game, so it's a little injury. They kind of keep it under wraps.
He had that turf toe. He had that boot. I mean, we saw him running around it clearly.
Yeah, it wasn't affecting too much.
During the game.
And then Brady, of course, is has a cleanup procedure to be done for his knee. So he was in a brace during the Tampa Bay party. I guess we better talk about some of this partying for Tampa Bay because they went off. They couldn't do a parade, so they did a boat parade.
We like talking about sport and we like drinking beers. And
so here we are.
I think there was a lot of that over the last few days. You know what was surprising? Seeing Brady on the piss because
he was enjoying himself.
Yeah, he was really enjoying himself. I didn't think he was going to do that. Did you see after the game, all the guys were going nuts in the locker room. They've all got the ski goggles on.
Did you see Devin White with his fucking horse on the playing field? Right around
that's today crazy. The trophy. Yeah,
see that. I didn't know who had thicker thighs.
White.
And then I think it was Murphy Bunting. He's doing like a Snapchat or TikTok or whatever, and he's like, we won the Super Bowl. He did this, and he's got Brady back there, and he's just packing up his shit. Everyone's going,
I've been here.
Just another day work. Just another day work.
He did this.
Yeah.
So then, it was nice to see it the last couple of days. Brady having a crack on the tequilas.
Well, it's got to be a good moment. Like again, we talk about the Patriots dynasty and. I can't imagine winning Super Bowls is boring, but this man was literally robotic. He won it. He did something, he's still getting paid a lot of money to do this, but he's moved to the other side of the country. Like he's moved to the south of the country, brand new team, had to move his family. It's got to feel like he was running out of things to do to freshen up. What was he going to do win another Super Bowl with New England? He set another challenge and knocked it out in 10 months. So you're right. It is good to see him be human and just be
and enjoy it a little bit.
Get some sea legs.
That tweet was hilarious.
Tequila,
Nothing to see her.
Yeah.
Something avocado tequila. Of him getting dragged out. The sun's still up.
Yeah.
Looks like a Peps effort on a big weekend.
On a certain Bucks party, but allegedly.
I guess we better talk about the Lombardi toss. Brady to the tight ends. I think he had Gronk and Bride.
No.
Right?
Man.
So close.
We're going to come up with a nickname for you that has something to do with dyslexia for next week.
Dickhead, done.
I think anus might be good. That's Sean muddled up.
Anus. You'd expect that from Gronk, though. You'd expect Gronk to be chucking it to Brady, not the other way around. So I think he dented one of them. Did you see when he...
Is there a dent in it?
No, on one of the Patriot ones, Edelman throws a baseball and Gronk hits it like the Lombardi Trophy, and there's a big. They've got all the 6 lined up, and there's one with just a dent in it. Looks like someone's just pushed it in. Hilarious. Here he is. He's the sea legs.
Nothing to see her. Just a little avocado tequila. Whoever's
and look at that. It blew up. It got something dumb. It didn't even got like 1 million likes or something on Twitter.
Well, whoever's writing his tweets is pretty funny. I doubt that was him.
Oh, come on. Pepsi, give the bloke some credit.
You reckon that was him?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah. He's got 100K. So, no, 700.
Nearly a million.
Yeah. So,
hilarious.
So, this toss, I think it's probably, a good 10 yards, 20 feet-ish between two boats.
Over open water.
They've got the 2 tight ends sitting on the front of the boat. I think Gronk's the one laying down. It kind of, I think they both one-hand it to each other, and...
That's a good fight,
mate. Right. Catches it.
Yeah.
I know.
He's drunk. So he's genuinely drunk. Yeah. It's so good.
Tom Brady's daughter is here front right going, no, don't do it. No. But,
I got another couple of these where they came from. That's all right.
Yeah. Classic Brady, though. Drops a dime in there. They all catch it.
Yeah.
And they all celebrate. I guarantee if it got in the water, though, all these boys are going in straight after it.
Speaking of, did you see that Scotty Miller may or may not have dropped Godwin's phone in the water?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Accidentally.
Scotty Miller.
I saw Godwin blowing up anyway. And Scotty was like, it's not me.
Scotty wanted to stay relevant after AB coming in. Remember at the start of the year, we were like, Scotty Miller's underrated. Like, he's good. Brady's going to do some Edelman type Welker shit with him, and then some guy called Antonio Brown comes along and becomes the third receiver.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He was begging for Verizon. He was getting on the blower to Verizon saying, hey, Scotty Miller's dropped my phone.
The boys living life, basically.
Yeah, it's good to see.
Absolutely. That's very good.
Yeah.
Did they got the banner?
The banner of Deuce. Antoine Winfield.
Giving Tyreek the banner, giving him the deuce. They've got a banner of that on one of the boats.
Boat parade. Yeah. So good.
Because Florida has just said fuck you COVID, and they actually have been partying for the last year. Like it's just been Florida.
COVID's not a thing. I think across the whole South, you saw Tuscaloosa after Bama won the Natty a month ago.
Yeah, so they've just instead of all right, we can't line the streets, we'll line the water.
I think if you're drunk enough, COVID can't get you. I think that's the theory. The last little point here I wanted to make. Next year, they're going to keep essentially the same team. We think Shaq Barrett wants to get paid. Whether or not that happens, time will tell. Can they go back-to-back? Brady's obviously there for another year. A lot of guys have said already that they're happy to take pay cuts for next year to try and keep this team together.
Famous to be one who's on a big wicket.
Evans,
so.
Can they do it again next year?
Yeah, well, I think...
Can't bet against the GOAT.
You can't bet against Tom Brady, and they hold the ring. We think the defense goes up another level. Their back end with, we talk about Winfield. Yeah. Is it Whitehead?
Whitehead, he's only young.
Murphy Bunting, Dean, and Davis. They're all in their second, third, first year.
And we were saying that going into this game, we were concerned about their secondary, and their secondary were really fucking good, and they're all young.
They switched on in the postseason.
Yeah. It definitely helps when you're getting that pressure. Indeed. Obviously, you don't have to cover as well. Mm-hmm. So there is that, JPP's out of contract. Shaq Barrett's out of contract. Like you said, Barrett's probably going to go look for money. Mm-hmm. With the salary cap coming down, these people looking for money are going to have to take cuts. There is not going to be any monster contracts this year unless they're severely back-ended and owners are just fingers crossed that the cap goes back to normal and it gets a big boost. So you might get, not as much money this year, but in 2025, that's your payday.
So they could take the 1 year deals and see if they can win it.
Exactly.
But then again,
should Shaq Barrett, if I'm taking a 1 year deal, I'll sign a 2 year deal for a little bit less for Tampa Bay. I think Godwin's the only real piece on offense that's a free agent. AB as well, but where AB's at, I think he's living in Tom Brady's house. So but again, if Godwin goes out, Scotty Miller gets more game time. We've seen him ball out. So I think the offensive side's really good.
Yep. And I think the defense going to be better.
Like we said, the back end's young, the back end's solid. Vita Vea in the middle there. I'm not sure about Sue's. Sue might be out as well.
He's very mercenary, I'd say.
And he's quite old as well.
I think he's one of those he's done a couple 1 year deals in a row now.
Yes.
And still just bossed. He's just a big, quick man who just mucks the middle.
A little bit of controversy in the past, regarding stomping and unsportsmanlike stuff.
Yeah,
but
aggressive player.
He's been really controlled aggressive this season.
Been quiet, quiet in the sense that he hasn't been in any media or anything.
Yeah, you haven't heard about him for the wrong reason.
He's
done all his work done.
Just been productive.
Yeah, and Big Vita Vea, underrated.
Oh, so underrated. He does look gross wearing number 50. I just don't like that on a defensive lineman. It's just disgusting.
True.
But he moves for a big man.
Sure does.
Yeah. So I think the final point is repeating is very, very hard.
Yeah,
we just saw the Chiefs try to do back to back,
and it was the Patriots in 02-03 that were the last two repeat in the NFL, which is 20 years ago now.
Yeah, and I think Denver were the first
in the 90s.
I think there's only 3 teams in total that have gone back to back. Actually, no, the Niners I think did it before them.
Yeah, just look at Super Bowl champions.
Niners were the ones that tried to do the three-peat. Did they get a three-peat?
The Bill Walsh, Montana, Jerry Rice.
Yeah. I think they're the 3.
I don't think anyone's done a three-peat.
Yeah, I think it's just those 3 have gone back to back.
The Bills have made 4 in a row.
Isn't that wild? And not a single one. Poor Bills.
And I think the Vikings have made 4 total, and they've never had a lead.
Thanks for coming out. Yeah. Would I take Tampa or the field? I'd take the field. But if you're getting me to pick a team, I'm definitely saying the Ravens. So there you go.
True. No personal bias.
No, absolutely.
All right.
I honestly thought this was Green Bay's year.
Go for the touchdown. You might have a shot at
it. Just real quickly back on Tampa Bay and the team sticking around. Reports out that Adrian Peterson is willing to take calls.
Are you willing? 40-year-old Adrian.
AP is always willing.
Well, even if they just give him a minimum.
They've got Fournette and Rojo. They don't need another.
What if they just give him a minimum contract and say, come mentor these guys? Maybe they do. Yeah. Oh, speaking of, Shady McCoy.
Yes. Finish that up.
He has 2 Super Bowl rings and did not play a single snap.
In 2 years?
No. He played. No. In the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's won he's won a winning in the last 2 Super Bowls. Sorry.
Yes, so he was on the Chiefs last year.
McCoy's gone back to back.
Didn't go on the field for 2 years and 2 rings. Jeez,
He played some snaps.
He has played a few snaps, but in the Super Bowls,
that's what I'm saying. The last 2 Super Bowls hasn't touched the field, but
snap.
except to collect his ring.
Yep,
that's
2
pretty
rings,
cool.
and maybe deserves it after a hard slog.
Buffalo,
Philadelphia. One of the premier running backs in the NFL 4 or 5 years ago.
Yep. Yeah, true. Good on him. Hey, I guess you get to the back end of the year, you've been a running back for so long.
Yeah, that's right. I saw him on Insta, big old, what do they call them, hokies? Hokey. That's a
Go Virginia Tech. Hokies.
Virginia Tech, yeah.
Hokey, not to be mistaken with Hokey Pokey.
No. Yeah, good on him. Yeah, those 2 rings.
Yeah, so I think that finishes up our Super Bowl chat. I think 2 boys here have to pay off a little bit of a bet though.
Just
remind
the viewers what this is for.
Yeah, so Monks and myself, I backed my boy Monks down the end here for Tampa Bay to win. These other 2, Macca and Peps, backed the Chiefs to win, and there's a skull bet on it. Unfortunately for these 2 boys, the Chiefs underperformed for them, and they have to now pay up.
Cool. Yep. Happy to skull for James, just so you're happy.
Well, in terms of just keeping the flow, maybe Monkey can grab the other 2 beers if you guys want to sip on them. More than happy to skull this one. Unreal seeing the GOAT do his thing. I'm happy to inhale a beer. Macca's first skull on the Esky.
Hopefully first of many. I mean, hopefully I win more bets, but hopefully we can have some more beers and enjoy talking some sports. So cheers to you, Peps, and cheers to the Bucks.
Yeah.
Cheers to you, Jimmy.
For the GOAT.
Cheers.
And cheers, Jimmy, on
Bucks winning.
First win in 20 years nearly.
But exactly right. Yeah. Enjoy.
Down the hatch, lads. All right, when those boys finish that off, I think the next big NFL news is the Hall of Fame. Jesus, you went through that quick. Don't never bet against Pepe in a skull challenge.
There are quicker.
They are quicker, but
shout out to Andrew Burns, Christopher Rowe, if either of you are listening.
Yeah.